Hi, and thanks for joining me for this sourcing webinar. We're going to look at one specific job requirement and analyze it. We will analyze the technical vocabulary, we will analyze the role itself, and then dive deeper to how to actually find the specific IT professional. So let's dive right in. So we will kick it off with this Java developer position. This one is in Germany. We were looking for a front-end developer for this client as well, and now they open up another one, which is a backend Java developer. So the previous one was JavaScript, this one is Java. So some recruiters may think it's pretty much the same, right? Like the same four letters appear, Java, JavaScript, but it's not the same, it's completely different. Java is not JavaScript. I even have it on a t-shirt, not on this one, but on another one. Java is not JavaScript, just to remind fellow recruiters that those are two completely different technologies, completely different languages. So we'll be looking at the Java developer position. So who is a Java backend developer? I will open up this mind map. There should be one page that is dedicated to Java development. But you know what, even before I go there, I'll just open up the mind map with all these IT positions, because when we look at a Java title, we see that it falls into the category of software engineers, backend developers who use the Java programming language. So it cannot be more straightforward. Sometimes it's confusing because there are Java developers, Java engineers, backend engineers, Spring developers, but essentially it is the backend developer who uses Java language with Spring framework, Spring and Hibernate. Essentially not that difficult, right? If you just follow this this path, this mind map, and then you can dive deeper. Of course, just look at the Java development landscape. Where is it? JavaScript, Java, it's right here. Okay, so there are some terms that we need to remember. For example, we need to keep in mind that Java can be used for web development, desktop development, and also mobile app development. So when we look for a Java developer, we need to keep in mind that a mobile app developer would not be a good fit for a web development position. So who exactly are we looking for? When the client says that they are looking for a Java developer, who exactly? What exactly will they do? Will they work on web or desktop or mobile? Because the developer who can create web application usually cannot create a mobile application, and vice versa. The developers who specialize on mobile development with Java cannot really create, or they could, but they don't create web applications using Java. The additional libraries, the additional tools are different. The process, the workflow is different. So they specialize either on mobile or on web or on desktop while using Java programming language. So keep this in mind. The second thing to remember is the Java virtual machine, which is the component that enables Java to run on different machines, on Windows, Macintosh, Linux. So that's the huge advantage of Java. And this keyword JVM is quite common on candidates' profiles. So again, we can use it as one of those keywords to source some developers. So let's not forget about this one. What else? The Java Standard Edition is typically used for some basic projects. However, the Enterprise Edition is used in the corporate environment. It provides some more additional features. Developers can run some large-scale applications, reliable, secure applications. So the Enterprise version is more common in those corporate systems. So again, this is another keyword we can use while sourcing for developers. Jakarta EE, J2 EE. Okay, so we will go through this brainstorming just to come up with these different keywords. Okay. And what else? Java virtual machine languages, Groovy, Kotlin, Scala. No, we are looking just for Java developer, not for Kotlin, not for Groovy, not for Scala. So that's not relevant for us. The testing framework, JUnit, could also help us identify relevant candidates. Also Selenium, but not, I would not use Selenium in the search criteria just because Selenium can also be used in other programming languages. Selenium is cross-platform, so that means that Selenium can be used in PHP, in JavaScript environment as well. So I would only stick to JUnit because that's the one that Java developers use. Some templating engines, Mustache, Remaker, Java FX. The client hasn't mentioned any of these, so I guess I'll not really focus on them. Java server faces not being mentioned, Vaadin neither. So I'll skip this part. It's not relevant for this particular opening. It's sort of clear that the backend developer will anyway take care of the APIs, will build JSON APIs. And Spring Framework is the framework they use in the company as well. The client uses Spring Boot, Spring Security, Spring Cloud as well. So we can use this particular keyword to identify those IT professionals who may be a good fit. Spring is right here as well. Okay, so a quick look at the Java development landscape can help us realize who exactly are we looking for. And don't forget that we are looking for a web developer in this case, not for a desktop developer, not for a mobile app developer. And someone who also has experience with DevOps, someone who has experience with cloud. So we can also open up the DevOps landscape just to remind us some of the keywords that we can use to look for the ideal candidate. So what could be those keywords? Jenkins, Travis, some of the tools for continuous integration, Ansible, Puppet, Chef. The cloud, certainly. The client uses Amazon Web Services, so AWS or Amazon Web Services. And that's pretty much it. So in this case, we are not looking for a DevOps engineer. So we would not expect the developer to have experience with all of them, but definitely should have experience with containers, with Docker, and with Kubernetes. So another keywords to consider. So let me just open up a little notepad so we can brainstorm together. I already mentioned a few keywords such as Java Virtual Machine, Java Enterprise Edition, Jakarta EE. I mentioned what else? Spring. I mentioned Spring Boot. I mentioned Travis or Jenkins. What else? Gosh, I don't remember. Like, oh, Docker Kubernetes. Docker Kubernetes. So these are some of the tools that Java backend developers are very likely to use, especially those senior ones. Of course, API could be another keyword, but I would just not focus on it that much because other developers can create APIs, you know, any kind of full stack developers, PHP backend developers. So I'll drop that one. With Docker Kubernetes, also another developers can use Docker, like any developer, any backend developer would use Docker Kubernetes. So it's not only the Java landscape. These are the keywords related to DevOps. So we are looking for someone who has experience working in a DevOps environment, environment, and this is the Java skills. So Java Virtual Machine, Spring Boot, even Java Standard Edition, Java Standard Edition, Jakarta, Jakarta. Okay, so some of these keywords. So the step one is always just to brainstorm a few keywords that are relevant to the particular opening. Some of the other keywords are too generic, like Git, for example. Anyone in IT uses Git. So that's pretty much it. Okay, so when we look at the job requirement, the core competencies are very clear, very straightforward. 4 to 5, 6, 7 years of Java development. They are looking for a senior person who uses Spring, just because in the company they use Spring, and they use Docker, as a lot of companies these days. So you know, it becomes mainstream. So that's why I would highlight these 3 as a must-have. The company also uses Amazon Web Services, but they don't really require this particular experience. And that's good always to ask the hiring manager, what if I bring you on board, or what if I arrange an interview with someone who uses cloud, but a different cloud? Would you still hire such person? And often the answer would be yes, unless you are looking for a cloud architect. In that case, the experience with a particular cloud is essential, but for developers, it may not really be essential. So the essential skills are Java, programming language, Spring Framework, and Docker. Because if they can use Docker, if they can use Kubernetes, well, then they can deploy to any cloud. Docker is the kind of container system that is making the whole development platform agnostic. So thanks to Docker, developers don't have to really care what cloud do they use. Okay, so so this is clear. Okay, what we also can do is now just to think about some of these questions that we could ask the developer to identify if the person is a good fit. Okay, so what would be essentially the screening questions? So the question number 1 would be, do you have at least 4 or 5 years experience? Do you have at least 4 to 5, or say at least 4 years of experience developing Java applications, or developing applications in Java? Okay, if yes, that's great. So then we want to check also if the person has been using Spring. So have you used Spring, not Sprint, but Spring? Have you used Spring in your past production projects? Yes or no? If yes, great. And what else? Have you used Amazon Web Services Cloud? If yes, that's great. Also, I would add a question about Docker, Kubernetes. So have you used Docker in your past production project or projects? I can probably just change order slightly, 1, 2, 3, 4. Have you used Amazon Cloud or some other cloud potentially? And question number 5 would be, are you based in Munich, Germany? Because if the candidate responds, yes, I have at least 4 or 5 years experience, or I can just have 5, okay, it will be straightforward, because they are looking for someone senior. So at least 5 years of experience developing applications in Java. Have you used Spring in your past production projects? If yes, great. It doesn't have to be for the whole 5 years, but at least 1 or 2 past projects. Have you used Docker in your past production projects? And we are not looking for DevOps engineer. So we would not expect the developer to set it up from scratch, to set up the Docker containers with Kubernetes. No, we just need someone who used Docker and can just plug in as a part of the team. Have you used Amazon Web Services Cloud? And are you based in Munich, Germany? So these 5 screening questions can help us determine if a candidate is potentially a good fit or not. And there are obviously some more keywords that we can use to look for the ideal candidate. And those keywords are, as I mentioned, the skills, JSE, JVM, J2EE, Travis, Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes. And also Amazon Web Services. And what else? Well, of course, Java would be one of the keywords. Java, Java Standard Edition, Java Virtual Machine, J2EE, so Java Enterprise Edition, Jakarta EE. It should be in quotes. Spring, not Sprint Boot, but Spring Boot, Amazon Web Services or Amazon Web Services, and Travis. Or we could now start creating some Boolean operators out of this. So Travis or Jenkins, Docker or Kubernetes. And that's pretty much it. Okay, so if I were to continue with those Boolean operators, I could also split them to title and then keywords. So what titles are we talking about? So the title, for example, and maybe I have some already listed here. Yeah, like the backend developer, Java backend developer, backend engineer. Okay, so these are just 2 titles that we can potentially start with. Java backend developer, Java backend engineer. It could also be a full stack Java engineer. It could be backend engineer. What else? Do you guys have any further thoughts? What else would you like to see? Software engineer, software developer. Feel free to write in chat. What other titles would you look for? What are some of the titles that you would be keen to explore further? And then the next step is to think about those keywords. So what do we put into skills? How do we come up with some efficient Boolean operator? So I already mentioned AWS or Amazon Web Services, Travis or Jenkins, and those that are alternatives, I just put 2 brackets, Spring or Spring Boot, Jakarta EE, J2E or Jakarta EE, Java Virtual Machine, Java Standard Edition, Java, that's clear, Java Virtual Machine. So it goes really quick once you get into it. Java, Docker or Kubernetes. What else? Would you guys add some more? Feel free to write in chat. Anna is asking, Java developer or Java engineer, is it a different role? So it is not a different role. It is pretty much the same. The developers, they have different titles, sometimes with no real meaning behind it. In some cases, the word engineer indicates that the person has completed the computer science degree or whatever other degree in related to computer science or engineering. So they call themselves engineers. So, but in a lot of countries, they just use the word engineer no matter what, even without graduating the university. So you cannot really take it for granted. And essentially, a lot of developers now complete some courses, online courses on Udemy, on Udacity. There are countless courses. So once they complete those courses, they become developers. And for website development, for mobile app development, people often don't have to study for 5, 6, 7 years at university. They just go through some boot camp. They learn how to do it. They get their first job. After 2 years, they know how to do it anyway. So they are Java backend developers. So I would use these interchangeably. You can have either a developer or an engineer. So with that, for example, these are the titles that developers can have on their profiles. But now for us, when we look for these people, we can take them as alternatives. So I would essentially have the Boolean as Java and backend and developer or engineer. Another would be full stack Java engineer. And again, I could have developer or engineer. What we could also do, and sometimes I do it when I look for developers in a specific country, so you could type there the local name. So for example, in the Czech Republic, it would be Vývojář. In Slovak Republic, it would be Vývojar. So you can just have it in the local language. If you look for people in Serbia, then you just use Serbian language. In Poland, you can use the Polish language. So whatever is the local alternative, just include it here as well. The programming language will be always Java. They don't really translate it, but the word the developer could be translated. So Olivier asks, are we looking for a junior or a senior profile? We're looking for a senior developer. It's even in the title in this case. So senior Java developer or Java engineer. We are talking at least like at least 4 or 5 years experience in Java development. So overall, the person should be at least 5, 6, 7, 8 years. But in the past, say, if you look at the career path of the ideal candidate, the person could have worked in the past as a front-end developer, for example. So say junior front-end developer, then backend developer, for example, for 3 years, and then senior backend developer for another 2 years. 2 years. So the person could work 2 years as a front-end developer. So in total, as you can see, it would be 2 plus 3 is 5 plus 2 is 7. So overall experience 7 years. But the Java related experience, backend Java developer, senior backend Java developer, the overall experience would be 5 years. And this would be the ideal candidate. Another career path would be, for example, a tester or manual tester, and then junior backend developer, say for 2 years, and then backend developer for another 2 years, and then senior backend Java developer, or senior full stack Java developer. Okay, full stack is backend and front end. So different career paths. The tester could be also for 2 years. So the overall, what I'm trying to say is that the overall experience could be more than 5 years, but at least 5 years experience with Java development. Backend engineer or developer, software engineer or developer. What else? You know, some tech lead, potentially tech lead, backend lead. Yeah, something like this. Okay, so this would be potentially the first one. Senior would be most precise. We could also use the alternative for senior, which is SR. So senior Java backend developer or engineer. We could also go after full stack developers. So we could replace backend with backend or full stack. So those who are full stack developers and want to transition to Java backend only would also be a good fit. This is the last ideal career path. So with this in mind, I would go after, at first, I would go after those who have senior Java backend or full stack developer or engineer in the title. And then I would go after those who don't have senior in the title. So we could also exclude them with not senior, not SR, and Java and backend developer. This first part, and the reason why, you know, like in this first case, we would have probably, I don't know, let's say 50 profiles. And in this second, if I just have it this way, we would have maybe 200 profiles. Just because a lot of more people will have the same part in the title, but without the keyword senior. So we can expect more profiles here. However, out of those 200, the 50 profiles would include senior, and we don't want to go through the same profiles again. So we can exclude the 50 profiles just by adding this Boolean, not senior, not SR, and Java and backend and full stack. Okay, is it clear? So that's fun. So we would exclude those profiles, and then we just need to start expanding the group, because this first and second is very precise. We are targeting like snipers, but very few people will be in this bucket. So we need to expand our search. We can have again backend, where is it, backend or full stack, and Java and developer engineer. Okay, so without oh no, that's actually the same. That's the same. So what we could do, since it is the same, we could just have the keyword Java and developer or engineer or VYH. And then the other alternative could be, okay, so without the keyword full stack. And then we could also exclude, because we don't want to go through the same profiles again. So we exclude not backend, not full stack, and we just keep the second part. So Java and this. Okay, so with every next step, we exclude developers from the previous one. We just need to remember it, right? And then we expand further. We can remove Java from the title. So we can have, for example, not Java. We would not have Java. We would only have developers, not those who have Java in their title, but then we cannot forget to include Java in skills. Okay, once we have it in skills, then it doesn't have to be in the title. So in skills or keywords. And then we can literally just have, well, this is probably useless in that case, tech lead, backend lead. Then we can drop the keywords completely. We don't even need this backend, I mean, a developer engineer viewer. We can just drop it completely and drop the title completely. and we just focus on skills and keywords. And the skills or keywords, because we will expand the search, so we need to start introducing more keywords. So then the keywords that we will include, obviously will include Java, will include Spring, Spring Boot, Java Virtual Machine, Jakarta EE, Amazon Web Services, Travis Jenkins. Okay, is this clear? If not, then feel free to ask. And if you have any additional keyword that you would like to add, just let me know, so we can include it. It would be a pity if I forget something. So let me just go back to the mind map, just in case I forgot some of these important keywords. Jakarta EE, Java EE. Probably I could also include Java EE without the 2. So where is it? Or Java EE. What else? Java Virtual Machine we have. Spring we have. Spring Framework, Jakarta. APIs I don't use because it's too generic. Oh, JUnit. We forgot about JUnit. Ugh, how could I forget about that one? It's so good to go back to those mind maps, right? How can I forget about JUnit? JUnit. Okay, so, and we need to remember that these are specific to the Java environment, and these are not specific to Java environment, but still we will see in the search results people who have experience with cloud, which also could be one of the keywords, just cloud. Okay, what do you guys think? Are you still with me? Is this something you also do when you start sourcing for some candidates? Do you think about your recruitment strategy? Do you approach it this way, or do you just open up LinkedIn and you start going through some profiles right away? What's your approach? I like to think it through, but I'm not saying like everyone has to. Probably you have even better approach. So feel free to share in chat, or I can also let you speak. Just raise your hand, and I just click this button so you can talk. And Olivier wrote, I love this approach. Awesome. Juliana wrote, yes, I do, on notes and then edit on LinkedIn. Wonderful, wonderful, very cool. Okay, great, great. So then once we open up LinkedIn, we will be able to just copy and paste these from here. And you can also probably use a spreadsheet, because in a spreadsheet you can have 2 or 3 different columns. In one column, the title, in the second column, keywords. Because what do you eventually want is to start combining these titles and keywords. So with that, I'll open up this testing project, I'll clean it up, and we will start from scratch in Munich, in Germany. So the location needs to change, these keywords need to change, years of experience could decrease to 5 at least. So let's have at least 5 years of experience. And location. The location will not change. That's probably the only thing now, right? Munich, Bavaria, Germany. That will not change. Oh yeah, Anna also wrote, this is very sympathetic approach. Thank you so much. Yeah, thanks, thanks Anna for sharing. Okay, so in Munich, in Germany, we have about 260,000 people, which is really a lot, right? You don't want to go through 260,000 people. I don't want to go through all of them. So we need to start with the most precise search, which would be the title and the current title, of course. So the job title, current only, like why this is not by default? It's so annoying, isn't it? So we have 4 people. Like this is really precise, and I expected this to be low. I probably haven't expected to be that low, but at least we see that it works. Like if there was 0, probably it would indicate there is some mistake. But at least in this case, we see that there are people who are really senior software developers who create backend in Java. So that's pretty cool, right? Only 1 year, but borderline. Strong experience as Java developer, senior backend Java developer. What we could also do now when we only see 4 people, like why don't we expand these keywords? So backend, sometimes it's also as backend, or full stack is sometimes as full stack. Sometimes it is typed as full stack. Let's just see if we don't get at least 1 more person. Let's see, like 1 more person would be nice. Ah, you see, from 4 to 5. So that's what, 20% increase. Not too bad. 2 years, 5 months, like that's the right time to leave the job, right? 2 years, 5 months. I guess he's already looking around, wondering what to do next after 2 years. So senior full stack Java developer, and you see full stack. So it's good that I included this option as well. He's an engineer, so most likely graduated the university. We can check really quick. Bachelor of Science, Master of Science, Computer Science degree. So he's an engineer. Let's look at skills. Java, JavaScript engineer. What else? He also created some applications in Android. IT security. Well, nothing really related to cloud, but since he was developing, well, in 2014-15, software engineer, always this product manager. Like, what's this thing? Like, why is he a product manager and a developer at the same time? And then 4 years as an engineer, set up and integrated 100 terabyte Hadoop cluster into the data warehouse. So he did apparently a little more data engineering than web development, which is not really what we are looking for. Once you can see Hadoop clusters, it's more related to data warehouse. You see Apache Spark, that's used for data processing, data engineering, real-time data analysis. So he worked with Scala, and you probably remember this mind map. There are these other languages similar to Java that are based on Java virtual machine. Scala is one of them. So Java developers may know Scala, and he's one of them. Optimizing the allocation of competing jobs. So he did data engineering, really. So not the web development we are looking for. And in this company, it's not clear what he actually does. So maybe not the best profile, really. He's a great, senior developer, 10 years of experience, but not really that kind of web development that we are looking for. So let's try Balázs Takács. Senior backend developer, 3 years, 3 months, ideal timing since 2013. So 9 years, awesome. Java server faces, JPA, awesome. JUnit, great. Maven, Spring. Oh, I forgot about Maven. So it's also one of the keywords that we can add to our arsenal. Maven, is it on this mind map? Let me check it out. If not, then I need to add it. Maven is not on the mind map. Gosh, I need to add it. So Maven, Java server faces, Hibernate, cool. So he's closer to the ideal candidate. I would probably just leave him open as the best one so far. So there are these 5 profiles, and of course we go through 5 profiles in 10 minutes or two minutes, and then we are done. So we need to expand our search. And what we can do is to, again, improve this backend or full stack. We can improve, well, that's pretty much it. Okay, so how about now we go through those who don't have the keyword senior. There are only 5 people, so maybe this is not that important to exclude them, but assuming you would have a larger search result, it would be more important. So Ramon Lopez, Norbert Boros, code enthusiast, Mikhail. Let's open up their profiles. Norbert, 9 months. Well, we would not approach him. It's too early for him to leave. But just looking at these keywords, great. Java, Java server faces, also JavaScript. You probably remember the hiring manager wants to see someone who did something on the front end. It was written right here. Experience with some basic front-end development so that you as a backend developer can use components prepared by the front-end developers. So the JavaScript is cool. It's cool. Kubernetes I can see as well. Spring Boot, awesome. Maven again. Okay, so this would be a good profile, but it's a pity, only 9 months. I would not approach him. A full stack developer and solution architect, Java, JavaScript, Python, Scrum. Okay, you see some of these keywords, Java Enterprise Edition, which reminds me I should also include JEE, not just JEE or Java Enterprise Edition. So I like to, when I see some good keywords, I like to just copy them to the sourcing strategy so I don't forget next time. Solution architect, 4 months, no interest in permanent employment. Okay, well then we will not approach him as well. So far, this guy is probably the best still. Khalid, let's open up. Sravani, Sergey. Software engineer, full stack Java developer, awesome. He doesn't have the keyword senior in the title. However, we can see he's been developing since 2015. So he's borderline 5-6 years experience, already getting senior, assuming he worked with Java all the time, which he did since 2016. No, it's 2015. So it's already 6 years. Awesome. So he's quite senior. Good, decent experience. And look at these keywords. Maven appears again. Spring sucks. I don't really know what is it. PLSQL, that's more to databases, data warehouse, same as Oracle. Jenkins, awesome. Google Web Toolkit, Java Enterprise Edition. So awesome. Like this is great fit. This is great fit as well. Almost 2 years. So I'll leave him open. Would potentially be a good fit as well. What about Sravani? 1 month, 1 year, 11 months in Munich as a Java backend developer, backend. Oh, and she stayed 4 years at first and then 2 years. So, okay, what about skills? Java, Spring, Java, Jenkins, unit testing. No JUnit mentioned. No, not JUnit. But anyway, so this could be also a good profile you see, and that's quite straightforward. Career path. She started as a junior backend developer, and then Java backend developer. So cool. Like it's easy peasy, right? You just need to start approaching these people, and Java with React. It's awesome. Probably even better, although just started 9 months ago. It's such a pity that LinkedIn doesn't have this feature in the search to filter out people who have started less than a year ago, because anyway, we would not approach them, right? or we could, but it's quite unlikely the hiring manager would hire someone who just recently started a company. So yeah, we found a few good profiles, but anyway, I'll just show you the next step. And yeah, there is yeah, this other approach where we would exclude a backend full stack Java, and then we only have not Java, but only the keyword title. We don't really need the last VWR because it's anyway, we would need in German. What is the, like, how do they say developer in German? We could just translate developer to German. Okay, Entwickler. Okay, so then let's add it. And I'm so curious to see if there are some Entwicklers. So instead of VWR, actually, I was just demonstrating it in Slovak or Czech Republic. But now, since we are looking for these people in Germany, I would use it in the German language. And let's just, for the sake of my curiosity, let's see if there will be more than 5. No, only 5. So in this case, it doesn't really help. But what we could do is, again, change it also here. And then go after all Entwicklers and developers who don't have the keyword Java in their title, but we would need, because there are 20,000 results, so we need to include the keyword Java in skills or keywords. Where are skills? Java. We would go to how many? 5,500, still a lot. There will be still lots of people who are, for example, Scrum Masters, lead engineers, and that's way too many. We don't want to go through all of these profiles. So what I would do is to just include all these other keywords. So how about I just do this kind of crazy thing, because our ideal candidate would have all these keywords on their profile. And this is such an overkill, but since we are experimenting here, why don't we just try it out? It sounds totally crazy to do it, but like if there are 20, 30 people, well, 2 people. So senior software engineer, let's open him up. Like this is the person who has all these keywords on the profile. And of course, not everyone needs to have these keywords, and they still could be great candidates. But it's just so easy to find these senior software engineers. Well, he just started a month ago, so we would not approach him. But let's just look at these keywords. You see Hibernate, you see Spring, you see Java, you see Spring Framework, Spring Boot, you see Amazon Web Services. So essentially all of these right keywords are here. Hibernate, which we don't even have. I could also include it. What we could do is, for example, start combining Hibernate. We could start, say, Spring or Spring Boot. These are must-haves. JUnit. How about now I start experimenting with different combinations, because these 3 are not alternatives, but it is likely that the developer will have mentioned either JUnit or Maven or Hibernate. They would have mentioned a Java's standard edition or Java virtual machine. Probably not. You know, I could probably drop this one, but they may have Java Enterprise Edition, Cloud. Maybe they don't have to have mentioned, but how about at least these? This would be so cool. So Java, well, we can have it. So let's see, if we would get 100 people through these, then that would be golden. Golden list. 42 people. Okay, but Still, this will be a very valuable list. Senior software developer, senior, well, front-end. Okay, we don't want front-end developers. We at least don't want those who have the keyword front-end in their profile. I mean, in their title, current title. So let me just tweak slightly this. We don't want those who have Java, and we don't want those who have front-end in their title right now. So from 42, we went to 41. Okay, that is fine. Let me just write it in this, not Java, not front end. Team lead, senior developer, software engineer. So we have some really good profiles now. Software developer, 1 year, 8 months. Software engineer, great. Let's look at the keyword. Java, Hibernate, Maven, Java server pages, Java Enterprise Edition, Kubernetes. Awesome. Like, this is exactly the kind of profile I would be keen to send to the hiring manager. Someone who started 10 years ago, then transitioned to Dubai, then to Germany, worked as a developer, like with Java environment, like 10 years experience apparently. So you see Java, Spring, Amazon Cloud, Maven, super cool, super cool. 11 years of experience in building scalable applications. So a great profile, and he is there working for 2 years. So probably about the time for him to change, right? Again, Java, Kotlin, even some front-end development. Cool. So again, we found some good profile. Let's look at keywords. Maven, Java, JavaScript, Spring Boot. So all of these keywords, when you see them, boom, really quick, you can see it's a great profile. So that was a nice exercise, right? What we can do now is just to take these keywords and use them in your search. So you know what, to make it easier for you guys, I'll paste them to our job board, so you can just reuse them if you'd like. Sounds good. Sounds like a good idea. And I will also take these sourcing questions, not sourcing, but screening questions, paste them here. And now the hard part will be to start messaging these candidates, right? So how do we approach it? What would you guys recommend to start with? Well, I'm just saving these in our system. So I would probably choose the first developer who we found, 3 years in Germany, in Munich, all these good skills mentioned, Java Enterprise. So how about we just write him a quick message? Something cool, something interesting, exciting. Hi, Balas. Is there anything interesting about him being mentioned? Forum star, Text Ministry of Justice. Nothing really. That's so unfortunate. No about section, nothing interesting, nothing stands out. And that's quite hard, right? If you don't really have anything. But you know what I can say? Like, he's from Hungary. You can see it based on the language. He works in Germany. So is there anything we could mention about him being from Hungary? Hi, Balas, I've noticed you relocated from Hungary to Germany. I'm from Slovakia, which is really close to Hungary, and I visit quite often. So I'm just wondering if I should mention it, somehow to build the personal relationship, the personal human touch, or I just skip it completely. Maybe I just skip it. Let's get down to business, right? I noticed you rocketted from Hungary to Germany. He studied in Hungary. So then after he finished, he went straight to after he graduated. Sounds like a great move. I'm working with an engineering. Sounds like a great move. Munich is a wonderful city. I'm working with an engineering team in Munich. That is expanding their operations, and build new squads. With this, it's clear that it's an agile team, a modern team. They've been growing substantially the fintech platform. And what is this company about? Let's just check it out quickly. It would be fun if it would be some fintech company as well. Minero, IT, probably some software development house. What about this one? Individual metadata management and data governance. Well, that sounds super boring. They've been growing substantially via fintech platform and now process millions of euros per day, which comes with new challenges as they scale. The managers or the manager is looking for someone senior to help them get to the next level. And as I saw your profile, I thought it could be a great fit for you, given your presence in Munich. Would you like to learn more about this exciting, interesting opportunity? Something like this. What about the subject? Certainly not job opportunity, something more curious, something that can trigger curiosity, something like Munich, or no, that's what Munich, something that he can relate to. But with this plain profile, it's just so hard, isn't it? So how about Munich intro? Like what kind of intro? What introduction? And I thought it could be a great fit for you, given your presence in Munich. Oh, well, let's see. So what do you guys think? Is it good to go, or shall I change something? And once we have it written, we can obviously just copy and paste it to other people who are in Munich, because we are anyway only approaching people in Munich already. Sounds good, or would you change anything? Sounds good, Olivier. Maria, great. All right, well then, let's send it off. Cool, send. Okie dokie. All right, so that was fun. I hope you guys will use some of these keywords in your next search. You can just copy and paste them even to other Java developers that you are looking for, because this role is typical, it's standard. So check it out. The candidate I messaged last Thursday. Yes, I think I got the answer. Hold a sec, where was it? I even pasted it in the members area, but hold a sec, where is it? How can I open it up? Do you by any chance remember what was it about? Gosh, who was it? I have so many messages now. Ekaterina? Was it Ekaterina? The one who we messaged about the relocation? Probably yes, right? That was the one where we wanted, like, we approached the product owner, or no, yeah, it was a JavaScript developer. True. Because she for example responded, yes, I have considered relocating to Europe. That was before the invasion, so it's not so, but anyway, we scheduled a call. We had the call with with Ekaterina, but there was this other developer. Yeah, you are right. Who was it? Not Dominique. No. How about, was it Carol? Yeah, you see, data visualization challenge, industry 4.0. So he responded, hey, thanks for the interesting offer. I'm currently involved in another project with a priority of mine. So despite it sounds very nice, I need to pass at this time. Perhaps we can stay in contact for future. I'm sure my availability will not change for the next 6 months. So I mean, it's such a great response, right? So anyway, like, it just shows that, once you really put the effort and write a good response, a good message, you will get the response back. You see with Ekaterina, who we messaged 2 weeks ago, she's the product owner. Like, again, this was one message that I sent 2 weeks ago, relocation, product owner. She messaged again, we hopped on a quick call. So that worked quite well as well. And you see also some other messages with the CTOs who I'm in touch with. So I mean, it works. It sometimes feels a little more painful, just because we need to spend time thinking this through, and we need to come up with a message and whatnot, which takes time, but it's worth the effort. So it's more fun. So I encourage you to think it through properly, rather invest a little more time, and you will get rewarded for your effort, because recruitment is not about copying and pasting, right? You could get some marketing tool to send automated messages, but that's not the point of recruitment. Recruiters should approach people individually, sell them the opportunities, go the extra mile, get them excited, interested, and for that you just need the personal human touch. So with that, I guess we can wrap it up. Thanks guys for joining. It was fun, at least for me. I know, probably not for you. You are like, well, this is the most boring session ever, again, some Boolean operators. So yeah, sorry about that in that case. Hopefully not. So we can continue next time. It was fun for Olivier at least. Okay, cool. So you will find these recordings in the members area, in the session, in the training modules, so you can check it out. You can go back to some of these booleans and replicate them. So with that, thanks Temitayo, thanks for joining, thanks Olivier, thanks Danny, and everyone else who was here, everyone who is watching in a replay. Thanks Anna as well, Jakub. Have a wonderful day, everyone, and I'll see you soon. Bye guys.